I'm going to show you how to set up your streaming space. We will cover how to properly set up a green screen, light your green screen, record using a webcam or a dedicated camera, get good quality audio, and key out the green screen in real time using either OBS or Zoom. If you're new here and love creative and interactive technologies just like I do, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the fun. All the products I mentioned in this video have links in the description so you can check them out. First, let's talk about your room setup and backgrounds. There are a couple of approaches you can take when figuring out what you want as your background. You could use the room you are filming in and move things around to make them look interesting. This is the type of thing that I do here at Team K Interactive. There are also photography backgrounds that provide a nice looking background with some texture. Then there's green screens, which is what we'll be talking about in this video. The green screen is a powerful tool for streaming since it allows us to remove the background and put anything we want behind us. You may be asking yourself, well, where should I even buy a green screen? Thankfully, there are many for sale on Amazon that come with both the cloth and the stand to hold it. But if you are short on time, there are two other things I have found to work well. You could find yourself a green tablecloth or some green paper and just tape it to the wall. Although, try to make sure it is as close to true green as possible and it does not have any patterns and it does not reflect light. When using a green screen, there are a couple of things that we want to be careful with. First of which is placement. We want to make sure that there is as much space as possible between ourselves and the green screen. This will prevent shadows from showing up as well as prevent us from bumping into it and accidentally moving it, which causes all sorts of headaches later. Now, let's look how to set up your green screen. Many green screen kits will come with two stands and a bar that spans the distance of the two stands and the green screen itself. I like to open the stands up and place them apart from one another. I then connect the horizontal parts till I have the desired green screen width. Next, put the horizontal piece onto the first stand and tighten the wing nut to hold it in place. Then rest the other side on the other stand. Next, grab your green screen and slide it right onto the horizontal bar completely. Finally, secure the second stand to the horizontal bar using the wing nut on that stand. We can now raise the whole thing by loosening the knobs on either side of the stand and moving it up, and then tightening them back down to keep it in place. We now have set up a green screen. There are a few other steps we can do to make it much better, however. Wrinkles are going to be your worst headache whenever we attempt to key out the background. And the easiest way to get rid of wrinkles is to pull the material taut. Thankfully, there are spring clamps that we can use on the top and bottom corners of the green screen to make sure it is wrinkle-free and shadow-free. Both lighting yourself and lighting the green screen are very important. When I use a green screen, I try to make sure that I light myself with one light source and that I use a completely different light source for the green screen itself. The reason I do this is we don't want to have our own shadow show up on the green screen, and by using different lights, we can eliminate this issue. I personally use two small video lights to light my face when using a green screen, and a larger LED video light panel to light the green screen itself. When setting up your streaming space, you also want to take into consideration your audio. First, make sure you have turned off anything that might make a noise in the room, such as a fan, and silence your cell phone. When it comes to microphones, there are a couple options. You can use one that's built right into your laptop, but these often do not have good quality audio, so it's generally not recommended. You could pick up a USB microphone these days for pretty cheap on Amazon, and that will greatly improve your audio. If you want to look extra fancy, you can even pick up a pop filter, which prevents any air from your mouth getting to the microphone, which causes the pops. Now, let's see how to configure both OBS and Zoom to remove the green screen and our USB mic. Okay, now that everything's set up and plugged in, let's go ahead and learn how to configure the settings in Zoom to get things working. So the very first thing we're going to do is open up the Zoom settings window, which I've already done here. And we're going to want to navigate to background and filters. And right now, I have it set up normally how backgrounds are set up. It uses the Zoom internal AI sort of pathfinding algorithm for determining what is the background and what is not. And you can see there's some issues with it. Like if I wave my hand, which means we're not actually using the green screen right now. This is just what's built into Zoom, and there's lots of issues with it. But thankfully, since we have a green screen, we can just click on this little checkbox in the bottom corner that says I have a green screen. And when we do that, it will switch to use a green screen. And we're also able to define what color our green screen is. And we can do this by hovering over this little dot right here, click on it, and it will bring up this cursor where we can select a part on our image. So for example, we want to choose the green color that's kind of in the middle of our green colors here. So I'm going to pick something around here, and you'll see that we just removed the background. Next, let's go ahead and make sure that Zoom is using our desktop microphone instead of the built-in one. And to do that, we will click on Audio, and this is where we get into the settings. Right now you see it's picking up my internal MacBook Pro microphone. We can just click on this drop-down list, and we're going to choose the desktop microphone. In my case, that is the Amazon Basics one. And now you can see that it is using this microphone. Hello, hello, 1, 2, 3. And when we start or join a meeting, all of these settings will stay the same. Okay, let's jump on over to OBS now and figure out how to do the same thing. So what I've already done is I've added a display capture source, and this is just going to capture my display. Likewise, you could have used it, say, if you're capturing a game stream, if you were doing a PowerPoint presentation, or you just wanted to use an image as a background. You could drop whatever you want in this now. We're now going to add our camera source, and we can do that by hitting the plus button under the sources section and go up to video capture device. Once we do that, we can give it a name if we want and click on OK. And this is where we're going to be able to change our device. So for me, I'm using a Camlink capture card. But if you don't have one and you're using a webcam, you can just choose your webcam. But for me, I'm going to click on this, and you can see here I am. So now you can change the resolution here if you need to. But I'm just going to keep it at the default, and then click on OK. So now you'll see it gives us this floating window that's in the scene. So let's go ahead and remove the green screen part. And we can do that by selecting the video capture device we just added, going to Filters, and under the Effect Filters, we want to add a chroma key. And here we are with the chroma key settings. We can change the key type, so we have a green screen, blue screen, or a custom color. We can change the similarity to sort of fine-tune the background removal, and sort of the smoothness to smooth it all out. So what we're looking for is the background to be gray and not have too many weird artifacts around the edges of the hair or the hands or anything that moves. So for me, I think this looks good. So I'm going to hit close, and now you'll see that I am in the scene. And what I can do is scale myself down, and I'll put myself in the corner, and you'll see a lot of times, like on presentations or YouTube tutorials, there's always this floating head. Even I do it in my videos where I'm in the bottom corner just so you can see me. Okay, let's go ahead and make sure now that OBS is using our desktop mic rather than the one that's built into our laptop. And to do that, we're going to come down to the audio mixer, and we're going to see this section here, and we can see the levels, but by default this is going to use your internal microphone. So the easiest way to change that is hitting the gear icon, and then we're going to go to Properties, and this will allow us to select the device. So now for me, I'm going to select my Amazon Basics desktop mini mic, and I'm going to click on OK. So now you'll notice once I tap it, we're actually getting the audio from the desktop mic rather than the built-in mic, which is what we want. There you go. You just set up your streaming space. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and check out my other video on how to bring multiple people into the same scene in real time. I'll see you next time.